What up, YouTube? Flash Speaks back. Looks like the Philadelphia 76ers have pulled off a trade. Uh, got James Harden up out of here. And in return to the Los Angeles Clippers, first of all, I'm sure all you know. And in return, we got back, I believe, Marcus Morris Sr. Welcome back, Cannon. Welcome back last time. Welcome back home. Last time I saw him was at a Rump Classic. You know what I mean? Those you from Philly, you know about that. You also got Rocco back, Robert Covington. That's what's up. Nicholas Batum, as well as a young one, Kenyon Martin Jr. You know. Now these players, some they might keep, some they might move. I don't know what they're gonna do with that. There's four guys. Most of them have in common they can play a little defense. They can shoot from the perimeter. We all know about Rocco's game and Marcus Morris Sr. They're a little bit up there in age. I'm not quite sure what they got left. I haven't really watched them much on the Clippers. And from what I understand, they weren't really getting that many minutes, so whatever. What I hear is this trade, though, really was about them picks that Daryl Morey was able to get off of them. I believe it's 2 first-round picks, 2008, 2006, as well as a swap pick and 2 second rounds. I'm not sure if one of the swaps is one of the first or whatever. I'm not quite sure how that works, but I know it's two first rounds, 2 second rounds, right, and a swap. I think this is the most you can ask for. What I heard was Daryl Morey was trying to hold out to grab what's my man, Terrence Mann. I would have liked Bones Highland or Terrence Mann, both. But what I heard, per Stephen A. Smith, I don't know, he talks to some of them guys on the phone. He heard that the Clippers were willing to part with Mann, but they weren't going to do Mann and the first round pick. You know what I mean? So Daryl Morey had to make a choice. I think he made the right choice. And I'm hearing now that he's talking about, that they're talking about possibly shipping some of those picks because you got 2 number 1s, a couple of number 2s now, taking some of those picks and trying to grab another player. Like I'm hearing Zach LaVine's name out there. I've also heard OG Anunoby's name out there. I wouldn't be mad about either one of those. I'm sure most people were more excited about Zach LaVine, and they believe you pair him up with Maxey and Embiid, and that'll be a legit contending team. You get both of them, of course. I'm probably a little bit on the in the minority here, where if I could choose between the two, I probably would go OG Anunoby, and I know that sounds probably insane to most people, but I'm looking at the way the team would fit, right? See, first of all, I like the way the team is now. I really do. Because I factor in a number of different things outside of just, how much a guy averaged last year or, that sort of stuff. I just look at, man, a lot of stuff. How much dog a dude got out of them, heart, mental toughness. I'm big on that stuff. And I think I like the way the squad is, but we need an upgrade, of course. Gotta do something about the power forward position. I don't know if you're gonna throw Oubre in there, or I don't know if that's the best move where you keep Oubre on the bench. Do you use Robert Covington maybe as your 4? Do you put Tobias back at the 4? I don't know. But the one area we need to upgrade, D'Anthony Melton at the 2. You know what I mean? You definitely got to upgrade that. So I don't know if the Sixers are going to maybe try Kenyon Martin Jr. there. I don't know. I don't know how he is on defense. He's a defender. But this is my point. What I would like ideally next to Maxey is a big guard, like a big 2 guard, between 6'5" and 6'7", right? Who is a stellar defender and who can get buckets. Ideally, a guy that can shoot is always premium. Like a Klay Thompson, of course, that type of skill set. But to me, you don't have to necessarily be just this knockdown 40% shooter next to Maxey, who is that. But you got to be a guy that can get a bucket, that can function in the offense, that isn't like, out there just lost. He either knows how to get to a bucket, know how to pass or whatever. And you got to be able to play defense because I need a guy that I can throw on, a Jaylen Brown, that I can throw on a Jason Tatum, that I can throw out there on Damian Lillard, at least make things a little tough for him. I can throw on Jimmy Butler, you know what I mean, to pair with Maxey. For the last couple seasons, we've been having kind of a small backcourt. Well, Harden, I mean, depends how you look at him. But before then, we were going with Seth Curry and Maxey. We've had these small backcourts. So OG Anunoby's perfect for me because he's a guy that can play defense. He can get a bucket, right, if you give him minutes. And also, he's going to be, the main thing to me is he's going to settle into his role and be cool with it. It's not going to disrupt what Embiid and Maxey has going or what Tobias has going. You bring in Zach LaVine, I almost think you got to move Tobias or something like that because I'm now concerned about how scoring goes. Sixers fans are like, we're a different type of bunch. Tobias Harris, like for example, ends up being a guy that's attacked a lot because he's not putting up 25 points, 20 points a game and stuff like that. When no one should expect that to be what he averages because he's like, it's not about he doesn't have the ability, it's that he's not going to get the looks. Last season Tobias Harris was a third option at best. You had Joel Embiid, you got James Harden, you had Maxey, then you got Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris naturally in that situation is going to average anywhere between 12 and 15 points because there's only but so many points that can be scored on any given night. There's only one basketball and only one guy can score at a time, right? So I never understood that. People wonder, I need Tobias Harris to show up. Why he only had these little bit of points? It's because the Sixers aren't going to Tobias Harris. Like, duh. Like, it's just common sense. But our fans, man, they don't care about none of that when we lose. Right? All logic goes out the window because you're angry about a loss. Right? So ideally, I believe that if you're coming to the conclusion that you're giving Maxey the keys along with Joel Embiid, like Embiid ain't forgotten about, but if Maxey's giving the keys as far as running the offense, I don't believe that Zach LaVine is the right guy to have next to him because Zach LaVine is going to want his points. He's going to want his touches. He's going to be a little bit ball dominant. I don't know, how not. You know what I mean? With that being said, if they were to grab Zach LaVine, I get it. I won't be upset. You know what I mean? I guess he gives you the puncher's chance because you'll go at it with whether it's Boston or whether it's Milwaukee. I guess you can go point for point. Maybe they'll go that route. I know if it was Doc Rivers, that would definitely be his move. Nick Nurse, I think, seems to think a little bit different, closer to the way I see basketball, that you have to get stops. That's so important. Like, I love defensive teams. My favorite teams have always been defensive teams. Teams that at least place a premium on it. So we'll see what's going to happen. I like the way the team has looked so far. Definitely impressed with Kelly Oubre, how he fits in. Maxey is definitely taking a jump that I expected. And I'm glad that he has a coach that really believes in him, that is going to build the offense around him. A big part of the problem that we had with Maxey last year was Doc Rivers, in my opinion, didn't believe in him enough. Doc Rivers is just going with Embiid and Harden, who, I mean, I get it. But people then start criticizing Tyrese Maxey. Why isn't Maxey stepping up? Why is he having trouble with Boston? Why is he having trouble with Miami or whatever it might be? And the truth of the matter is that it's because if you look at the way Maxey is utilized, he's not like emphasized. He's not prioritized. Like when you prioritize a guy, you run him in pick and roll action. You set screens for him to get open. You see how Steph Curry is used, right? Steph Curry, of course, is dynamic by his damn self. But if you look at the way Steve Kerr sets the offense up, they'll have 2 and 3 guys screaming for him to get open. They make sure he gets open and he gets the ball in spots that are sweet spots for him. Uh, Early going, it looks like Nick Nurse is kind of moving in that direction. He's going to use him in a lot of those types of ways where I think he will thrive. He's now shooting 56% from three. Of course, that'll go down. But we're talking about the last 2 seasons, Max, he's been over 40%. 2 years ago, he was roughly over, I think, 41%. Last season, 43%. So he just gets better. So that's who he is. He's 40%, from three guy, period. So to use him in that way is very, very smart. See what you can get out of that man. Steph Curry set the blueprint. Steph Curry set the blueprint. Not saying he's Steph Curry. He don't have to be. He could be just 70% of that. And that's better than, that's all-star right there. Hall of Fame player. And that's what I think he is, man. So we're going to see what the Sixers going to do next. I think the next game we got coming up is Thursday. You know what I mean? So that's what I had on that, man. We ain't going to make this too long. Tell me what you guys think, man. Peace.